Hello everyone, my name is Vimal Raj. I'm a lecturer from James Polytechnic College, Aurangabad, Bihar, from the department Mechanical. So today we're going to discuss on the unit number 4, that is heat treatment of steels. That is lecture number 19, and the topic that we're going to discuss is about the heat treatment of steels. So this is on the subject called Mechanical Engineering Materials. The subject code is 1625304. The content for today's lecture is Introduction to Heat Treatment, Types of Heat Treatment. First one is the introduction. So first of all, we need to know what is heat treatment. So nothing but heat treatment is it's very simple. So it is a process or a operation, series of operation that involves in heating and cooling of metal in a solid state. So basically, this is a process of heating the metal and cooling the metal on a continuous way. That is called a series. So which will make a change in the mechanical property, not change the chemical properties, it will change the mechanical property or the combination of mechanical properties so that the metal will be more useful, more serviceable, and more safe for different purpose. So basically they do this heat treatment in order to use the metal in a wise way or in a useful way. Okay, and by doing this heat treating, metal can be made harder, stronger, and more resistant to impact. That's the reason the forge smith, I mean the forging and all. If you see the people who make knives and all, they what they do is after they do this quenching process, all these things, once they do the shape cutting everything and all, finally they will go for the heat treatment, because these knives has to be treated in heat so that they will have more power, more strong, more hardness, so that even though if it's a more impact is being given, it will not uh, tend to break. Okay, so this is called the heat treatment. So heat treatment process is a series of operations involving the heating and cooling of metals in the solid state. So its purpose is to change the mechanical property. Okay, and by heat treating, a metal can be made harder, stronger, and more resistant to impact. So heat treatment can also make a metal softer and more ductile also. So either way can be done. So next one is the no one no one heat treatment operation can produce all of these characteristics. In fact, some properties are often improved at an expense of others. So in being hardened, for example, a metal may become brittle. So if suppose any metal is become more more heated, it might tend to become brittle. Brittle is something but it will break. So types of heat treatment. So these are the types. First type is annealing, normalizing, quenching, tempering, surface hardening, case hardening, tempering, mark quenching, and last forming. First one is the annealing process. So annealing is a process for softening materials or to bring about required change in properties such as machinability, mechanical or electrical properties, or dimensional stability. So basically, annealing is a process for softening the materials, or to bring about required changes and properties, such as machinability, mechanical or electrical properties. So they have to bring some changes in the machinability. So some metals might not be suited for the machining things. So when they do this annealing process, uh, it will be ready for the machinability things, and also mechanical or electrical properties or dimensional stabilities. So the annealing process consists of heating the steel to or near the critical temperature at which crystalline phase changes occurs, to make it suitable for fabrication. So this is one of the things. As a material can be annealed by heating it to a specific temperature and then letting the material slowly cool to the room temperature in an oven. Okay. So when a annealed part is allowed to cool in the furnace, it is called the full annealing heat treatment. So basically, this is how the full annealing range will be there. This is the full annealing range. The range degree goes temperature goes to about 2000 degree Fahrenheit. So these things will be allowed to cool in the furnace itself. So next one is the normalizing. So normalizing nothing but it is a type of heat treatment applicable to ferrous metal. So normalizing is a technique that is only applied for ferrous metal only. It is not applicable for non-ferrous metal. So it is only applicable for ferrous metal only. So it differs from annealing in that the metal is heated to a higher temperature and then removed from the furnace for air cooling. So basically, this is like heating in a the metal is being heated at a higher temperature and then the temperature has been removed and from the furnace for the air cooling. So they will be taking the it's like baking a cake. Like first we'll put all the mixtures in the mold and we'll be keeping it in the oven. Once the cake is been baked, what we will do is we will take it out and we will make it to cool in the outside. So that is called the normalizing. So purpose of normalizing is to remove the internal stress. So basically some metals during the changing of the shape and all, they will have some stress inside that. Internal stress will be there. So in order to remove those internal stress, they use this normalizing technique so that they induce by a heat treating process. After that, they will go for welding, casting, and forging forming, and the process will be taken care of. So normalizing is used in some plate mills. So in the production of large forgings such as railroads, wheels and axles, some bar products. So this process is less expensive than annealing. So this is basically it's a cost effective one. That's how the normalizing process would work. Quenching or hardening. So it is done to increase the strength and wear properties. So quenching, as I was talking about, they will do the knife. They will do this knife thing, right? When they make a knife and all, they do this quenching process, where in which it is done to increase the strength and the wear properties. One of the prerequisites for hardening is sufficient carbon and alloy content. So to harden by quenching, a metal, usually steel or cast iron, must be heated into a authentic crystal phase and then quickly cooled. Depending on the alloy and the other considerations such as concern for maximum hardness versus cracking and distortion, cooling may be done with forced air or other gas such as nitrogen, oil, polymer dissolved in water or brine. So this is how the quenching will work. One drawback, uh, one drawback of using this method by itself is that the metal becomes brittle. So basically, when they do this quenching process, if too much of quenching is happening, the metal will become brittle, so it might tend to break. So that's the reason it's very careful, because quenching is something with very important process. If it's more, it will make a brittle. If it's less, it will not become hard. So it's on the it's like on the wall on the cat. So this treatment is therefore typically followed by the tempering process, which is a heating process at another a lower specific temperature to stress relieve the material and minimize the brittleness of the rubber. Next one is the case hardening. Case hardening is a process of hardening the surface of a metal, often a low carbon steel, by infusing elements into the material surface, forming a thin layer of harder alloy. Case hardening improves the wear resistance of machine parts without affecting the tough interior of the parts. So case hardening is a process of hardening the surface of a metal. So basically it is nothing but the south surface. The surface of the metal will be hardened by this process. Ash tempering is a process, it's a heat treatment that is applied to ferrous metals only, most notably steel and ductile iron. So basically, this is also done only for the ferrous metals. So this is not done for the non-ferrous metal. So in steel, it produces bainite, a microstructure, whereas in cast irons, it produced a structure of ocular ferrite and high carbon stabilized austenite known as osferrite. So it is primarily used to improve mechanical properties or eliminate distortion. That's the graph. Next one is the tempering. So tempering is carried out by preheating previously quenched or normalized steel. So basically tempering is a process where in which it will be carried out by preheating the previously quenched or normalized steel. So basically this will be done on the material which is already been quenched or normalized. So to a temperature below the critical range. So it will be done on the temperature which is on the critical range. So next one is folding and then cooling to obtain the desired mechanical property. So it will be obtained for a desired mechanical property. So tempering is used to reduce the brittleness of quenched steel. So the temperature chosen for the tempering process directly impacts the hardness of the workpiece. So basically the temperature chosen for the tempering process directly impacts the hardness of the workpiece. So the higher the temperature in the tempering process, the lower the hardness. So when the temperature is more, it will reduce the hardness. So this is the tempering heat treatment. This is a cooling curve. It's a cooling curve. And the seventh one is the surface hardening, in which the treatment of steel by heat or mechanical means to increase the hardness of the outer surface while the core remains relatively soft. So only the surface hardening is nothing but only the outer surface of the metal will be hardened, wherein which uh, the core remains similar, the inner parts will be remaining soft only. That is like a it's like a I mean like a cake, I would say, very much outer surface of the cake will be little bit crispy, but the inner side of the cake will be very soft. The surface hardened steel is also valued for its low and superior flexibility in manufacturing. So this surface hardened steel is also valued for its low and superior flexibility in manufacturing. The oldest surface hardening method is carburizing, so in which steel is placed at high temperature for several hours in a carbonaceous environment. So the carbon diffuses into the surface of the steel, rendering it harder. So another method of surface hardening called the night treating. So we place nitrogen and heat. So this process is called the night treating, in which they use nitrogen and heat. So camshaft, fuel injection pumps, and valve stems are typically hardened by this process. So flame hardening and induction hardening, in which high heat is applied for a short time. So flame hardening, when in which high heat will be applied at a shorter time. So by gas flames or high frequency electric current respectively, and then the steel is immediately quenched or used only for the larger engines. So mechanical means of hardening the surface of steel parts includes peening, which is the hammering of the heated surface. Peening is nothing but hammering on the heated surface. So as the iron pellets shots on the surface by air blasting, cold working, which consists of rolling, hammering, drawing temperature that do not affect the composition of the steel. This is mark quenching. So to overcome the restriction of conventional quenching and tampering, Mark tempering process can be used. So in order to overcome the restrictions, there is some restrictions over certain processes. So in order to overcome those restrictions, overcome the restriction of the conventional quenching, they use this Mark tempering technique That in which a Mart tampering permits a transformation of austenite to martensite to take place at the same time throughout the structure of the metal part. So residual stress developed during Mart tamperings are lower than the developed during the conventional quenching. So Mart tampering also reduces or eliminates susceptibility to cracking. So another advantage of Mart tampering in molten salt is the control of surface carburizing or decarburizing. And ninth one is the osforming. Osforming, also known as low and high temperature thermochemical treatment. See guys, these are the definitions. Okay, this is the important definitions. You can note it down because this only you can write in the examinations. So osforming, also known as low and high temperature thermochemical thermomechanical treatment, in a method used to increase the hardness and stubbornness of an alloy by simultaneous tempering, rapid cooling, deforming and punching to change its shape and refine the microstructure. So atmosphere furnace tempering using conventional heat treatment furnace. As forming is HOP, rapid heating and tempering using HOP. This is a summary. So we discuss about heat treatment, types of heat treatment. So these are the reference. Thank you guys. Thank you for seeing this.